Hey.
Hey, we need to have a conversation. You're very young. I don't want to hurt you.
I think I have power.
Hey guys, today we're going to talk about one of the boldest films that recently premiered in theaters, Babygirl. Directed by Halina Reijn and starring the incredible Nicole Kidman, this erotic thriller is much more than just hot scenes. The film brings a fresh take on the genre, subverting expectations and showcasing the complexity of sexual freedom and power dynamics. Stay with me until the end of the video, because I'm going to explain everything you need to know about this controversial and challenging film. Before we start, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you don't miss any amazing content coming your way. And don't forget to comment below on what you thought about the film. Now let's dive into today's unmissable video. The erotic thriller subgenre was a huge success in the 80s and 90s, with films like Fatal Attraction and Basic Instinct, known for their steamy plots and seductive characters. However, many of these films were created from a male perspective, offering a limited view of sexuality. And this is where Babygirl stands out, bringing a new, more complex and daring perspective. Halina Reijn, the screenwriter and director of Babygirl, delivers an erotic thriller with a completely different approach. The story isn't just about desire and seduction, it's about power, freedom, and emancipation. Nicole Kidman, at 57 years old, surprises us with one of the most challenging performances of her career. But can she carry the weight of this intense role and spark reflections on sexuality and relationships? Let's find out. Babygirl follows the story of Romy, a successful businesswoman who has everything she could want: a solid career as a CEO, a seemingly perfect family, and a marriage to Jacob, played by Antonio Banderas. However, she is dissatisfied, and her life begins to crumble when she gets involved with her intern, Samuel, played by Harris Dickinson, who is much younger than her. This affair is the trigger for a deep internal conflict that makes Romy question her identity and the role she plays in her own life. Right at the beginning of the film, we are introduced to a striking scene where Romy fakes an orgasm with her husband, then isolates herself in another room to masturbate while watching pornography. This scene isn't just a provocation, it's a key to understanding what's going on in Romy's mind. She is seen by society as an ideal woman, but in reality, she is repressing her own wants and desires. The protagonist of Babygirl is not a typical femme fatale who leads a man to ruin. Here, Nicole Kidman's character is portrayed in a much more complex and liberated way. She seeks to free herself from societal restraints and explore her sexuality in a way that has never been done before. By getting involved with Samuel, Romy begins a journey of self-discovery where taboos around pleasure and power start to blend. The screenplay, written by Halina Reijn, dives into issues of power, dominance, and submission. However, the film goes beyond this by exploring how society judges women's sexual freedom. Romy's freedom is an affirmation of her identity, a response to the expectations that have been imposed on her throughout her life. This is one of the central themes of the film: Romy's quest for pleasure in a world that often denies women this right. What stands out in Babygirl is how Halina Reijn, the director, manages to bring humor to such an intense plot. At certain moments, the film flirts with costume comedy, something the director also explored in her previous film, Death, 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 2022. This touch of humor helps to soften the more tense scenes, creating a dynamic between Romy and her husband Jacob that is intriguing and, in a way, even comical. The couple begins to explore a new dominance-submission dynamic, which adds a comedic break in such an emotionally charged film. However, it's important to highlight that Babygirl never falls into the trap of moral judgment about the main character. Romy is not seen as a villain, but as a woman trying to discover who she truly is, without the masks that society and her CEO role impose on her. This approach allows the audience to connect more deeply with the character without feeling the need to condemn her. Nicole Kidman delivers one of the most daring and challenging performances of her career in Babygirl. At 57, she didn't hesitate to throw herself into the role of Romy, showing a rare courage in actresses of her age. Kidman's performance goes beyond the sex scenes, exploring the complexities of her character in moments of vulnerability and power. The chemistry between Kidman and Harris Dickinson, who plays Samuel, is also remarkable. Dickinson brings a youthful and seductive energy to the role, and their interaction with Romy is an experience of sexual and psychological tension. The most iconic scene in the film occurs when Samuel dances to George Michael's father figure. It's a moment of pure seduction where the attraction between them becomes almost palpable. This scene perfectly represents the climax of the power dynamic being built between the two. Halina Reijn, the director, doesn't just make an erotic film, she creates a true reflection on female freedom and desire. Throughout Babygirl, the direction remains true to a style that never seeks exploitation, but rather paints intimate scenes with depth. The film may be erotic, but the focus is on the psychological development of Romy, her relationships, and the way she handles power in her life. How Reijn handles the sex scenes is also a hallmark of her work. They are realistic and authentic, never turning into empty spectacle or gratuity. The director cares about showing pleasure as an experience without judgment. It's a way of giving women a voice and showing that they also have the right to explore their desires without being stigmatized for it. In summary, Babygirl is a bold, deep, and provocative film. With direction by Halina Reijn and an unforgettable performance by Nicole Kidman, it subverts the expectations of the erotic thriller genre, bringing discussions about sexual freedom, power, and female identity to the forefront. Kidman's performance is undoubtedly one of the film's highlights, showcasing the complexity of a woman freeing herself from the restraints of her own life. So what did you think of Babygirl? Have you watched it, or are you curious to see the film? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell for more analyses and curiosities like this. Until the next video, folks!
Who decided to make me a part of that mentor program? You have 7 minutes.
So, how did it start?
I see myself as a...
Power-hungry personality?
You think that's what I am?
I think you like to be told what to do.